Welcome to the New York Outlook for Friday, the 8th of December 2023. In terms of the economic calendar, as you can see, today is an NFP day. Given that it is an NFP day, we need to tread cautiously for the New York session. In terms of the London session, I took one trade. However, I've since closed that during the lull just because it wasn't really moving anywhere and it doesn't make sense to hold trades or keep trades open during significant news events like NFP. So the idea for the New York session is to wait for NFP to be released, evaluate the result, and then ensure that whatever direction we intend trading, that it aligns with the NFP release, or at least, yeah, definitely the NFP release and the unemployment rate release. If it's mixed results, we can probably justify trading whichever direction based on what the technical analysis is telling us. So based on that, and jumping into the charts, essentially nothing really has changed from the London outlook. Both longs and shorts remain valid, and it's purely about interpreting the 15-minute, 5-minute. Excuse me, it's purely about interpreting the 15 and 5-minute order flow to make sense of which direction to trade. So jumping into the 15-minute and just to show you the trade that I did take. So in the London outlook, I did highlight that I would be taking this entry just because demand was in control. We had a demand chain and an area to support where the low of the day is likely to form. As you can see, price came quite deep into my stop loss, but I was happy to take this trade like this. I knew that this would potentially be used as liquidity in the leg. However, I was quite happy that there's quite a bit of space until the 11% level. So I was happy not to cover the low of the day, and that also led me to having a reasonably sized stop loss, which was good. Anyway, we came quite deep in, then we pushed out, and at the lull, I reevaluated and noticed I was about 0.5% up, and it was really unlikely that the price is going to push significantly in the lull. So I closed the trade right around here at 0.5%. To be honest, even if you cut out at break even, that's perfectly fine. Like right now, you could get out break even. Like I said, it's never worth keeping trades open for NFP, especially not when you're positioned like how we are right now. So I'm just gonna hide this again and then explain the approach for the New York session. So what you can see is that 15-minute demand control chain was our change of character. And you'll see on the 55-minute, it's also the change of character OB on the 5-minute, just because there's nothing in the slag on the 5-minute either. So we had the change of character, but we didn't really have supply hold. I mean, it could hold here and could have this break of structure, which I can um, mark now like this. Um, Yeah, so we can have the supply hold and then we can look for an entry thereafter. Alternatively, what you can see is we're reacting to this primary leg OP and we can revalidate that demand is in control. So we have this change of character from this primary leg support OP, which then validates the secondary leg protrend OP. And from this, if demand were to hold, then we can essentially continue playing longs, not on this order flow, but purely on the fact that we actually have primary leg pro-trend support, and we can target something to the upside. But yeah, for now it's somewhat undetermined who's in control. So if it was an NFP, I would have kept that trade open on the assumption that demand remains in control, and I'd obviously be targeting something to the upside. But that trade's now closed, so now it's a bit of a waiting game, right? So if NFP is positive for the USD, then obviously price will go down, and in which case I'll wait for this break of structure, which would then validate to me that supply is in control, and I'd look for an entry then. to probably target an ADR based target, or perhaps this pro trend extreme. Definitely the pro trend extreme, because that's essentially the target for the pullback phase. And then obviously if NFP is negative for the USD, then we anticipate GBPUSD to go to the upside. And in that case, I'll essentially wait for demand to take control. So that can happen in a couple of ways. Either we come into this demand OB, this holds and we break structure there, or we actually break this structure right here. And because this comes off this primary leg OB, when we break the structure associated with the primary leg support OB, that will validate a chain and we can consider longs. And then the other thing to remember is previous session range liquidity, and there's one more thing. Oh yes, and in FUB alignment with your POIs to ensure that you don't enter in premium zones. In terms of previous session liquidity, we do have the London range, which is not that large, to be fair. So I'll just mark this out quickly. London range, like so, and then just quickly hopping on the 5 minute, what you can see is similar to the 15 minute. This was our chart level, and we haven't yet had supply hold. Even here, it didn't really react to anything. And then we've built the secondary leg with a chalk here, and again, demand hasn't held. So it looks like supply is taking control inside of the secondary leg, which is not ideal. Um, yeah, which isn't ideal because it invalidates this pro-trend secondary leg, at least until we either reset it right here, or the secondary leg gets extended on the 5 minute to the body break right here. However, what it does do is it validates a potential. Sorry, let me just think. So in terms of the pullback phase, we reacted to this pullback OB and we created the secondary leg for the pullback OB. And then demand didn't hold as yet. So we do have what we can mark up here, perhaps around here. We do have supply 5 minute secondary leg pullback phase. So on the 5 minutes, it's more likely than not. Actually, no, we can't say that. Um, because supply hasn't held since the change of character. So we do have the secondary leg right here, but the issue with that is we don't have supply control validated, which then means, and then on the other hand, we don't have demand control validated. So we sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because this is a secondary leg pullback phase OB, we can't really use it to justify why supply should be in control right here. So the best thing to do is simply wait, right? So wait for either this low to go, or wait for this high to go, to then extend the proton to secondary leg, and then look for demand evidence of demand holding, and then consider a long. And yeah, honestly, there isn't much to do until NFP comes out, and then just navigate the order flow appropriately. Don't get confused with the numerous legs that's going on. Just pay attention to everything and ensure you're not getting caught in the ranges that are happening in the middle of these legs. But yeah, I think it will be an interesting New York session. Oftentimes, to be fair, NFP news will just like rocket to the one side and there won't be opportunity for entry, in which case, close the charts and start your weekend. Of course, don't be lazy and ensure you track your trades and do your end of day reviews and weekly reviews and whatever other processes you have going. But yeah, don't try and get into trades late on a Friday, especially now in December. So yeah, anyway, have a good weekend and we'll chat again on Monday for the London Outlook.